Hello everyone and welcome back to Canva course from basic to advanced, and for this chapter number 6, I am going to show you what you can do with typography and text effects. So in this lesson I'm going to teach you what typography is, how you can use the text tool, and how you can use text effects to make your design look much more neater, much more organized, and also much more innovative and creative at the same time. So let's go ahead and get started with our lesson without further wasting any more time. So as you can see over here, I have opened up Canva, and what I'm going to do is go to our text category on the left panel over here in the UI. Now here you will be able to access all the kinds of text available to use in Canva. Now these are the templates for the text, as you can see over here. And you can also manually create text with your heading, subheading, and body of text. Now you will find brand kits. If you were to add brand kits, you will find them underneath the brand kit over here. But as there's nothing, or as I have not set up a brand kit, it's because of that nothing is showing. Now I can go ahead and add a text box over here. Okay, as you can see. Now I can also click on this icon over here, linked, and add a link into it. So let's say I'm making a digital link, right? A digital page, a digital link, or let's say website or website UI design. I can go ahead and click on this and add a link into it as well. So you can add a text box over here. You can expand the text box, then also scale up and down the text box like that. If I were to add a heading, as you can see, this is a heading. If I were to add a subheading, this is a subheading over here. So let me just realign it so it fits and looks neat and clean. Then a body of text will look like this. There you go. Now let me just align them with the position over here. Let me just align them. There you go. There you go. Now that looks neat and clean. So you can also do the space evenly tidy up like this so that everything is far from each other, the same distance, as you can see over here. So those are like the organization parts of text, where you can, like, let's just select this, arrange them, and you can also go ahead and layer them, like underneath layers over here in the text, underneath positions. You can see overlapping. As you can see, there's no overlapping layer. You have the background layer and the normal layer as well. So you can add a heading. As you can see, that's the heading over here. You can go ahead and edit that heading however you want. You can also put this below. You can change and realign the layers accordingly. So add a heading. I want this to be at front, at the top, and our subtitle, little body of text, will be at the bottom. There you go. Now I'll show you what this does basically is by changing the colors so that you can differentiate them from each other. There you go. Right now, if I were to go ahead and select all of this, go to position, go to layers over here, as you can see, these are the layers, right? If I were to move this, as you can see, it's behind that layer, and this one is behind the cyan text layer as well. So with these layers are overlapping over here, or you can also have these layers and change how the layers work through the position, going to position and going to layers over here. Now going to arrange over here, as I've showed you before, you can arrange it according to your artboard. You can select multiple objects, tidy them up horizontally or vertically, however you want. You can also, underneath the advanced here, you can change the width, the height, and you can rotate it as well, and you can change the position using the XY values over here as well. Now going back to our text over here. So these are the text templates. Now I will just go to this text over here and delete them. And I'm just going to left click on this text. Now once I left click on that text, it's going to then import that text inside, or import that text template inside our artboard over here. Now as you can see, this insert coin text over here, this is not one line of text there are two text boxes inside. They're grouped together to form a template. Now, if I were to go ahead and select this, if I were to go ahead, right click on this, and you will see the ungroup option over here. You can also use the shortcut, which is Control Shift and G. So first hold Control, then hold Shift, then press G, then it's going to go ahead and ungroup. You can ungroup it from here, or you can go ahead and use the shortcut to ungroup. So once I've ungrouped them, now as you can see, these are two different texts. You can also go ahead and edit those texts however you want to. It depends on you. So that way you can go ahead and import any kind of text inside. You can also change how those texts behave as well. You can also add effects to text as well. So I'll just go ahead and create a custom text right now. So I'll just add a heading over here. And on top of over here, you have effects, you have animation as well, you have position, which I've showed you before. And you have the text color over here, which I've showed you how you change as well by selecting here and selecting this color. Now it's black. I can go ahead and edit this black and adjust it to however I want. And you have the brand kit color over here. So any kind of color that you use in your brand or have you created in your brand kit will show up here. Afterwards, you can also change the font. So as you can see, I gave an impact font right now. So this is the impact font. Then I can change, lower down, or increase the font size. As you can see from there, I can set the text color. This is to make the text much more bolder. Now impact is bold, so and straight, so you cannot go ahead and change it to much more bold or make it italic or make it italics as well. Then you have underline. You can add the underline to impact. You can also have a middle cross as well. You can also make sure that everything's uppercase or lowercase through that. You can align the text towards the left side, towards the middle, or towards the right side as well, or to spread them out evenly. And what do I mean by spread them out evenly? So if I were to increase my text box like this accordingly, if I were to go ahead and select the left side, as you can see, the left is selected. If I were to go ahead and spread it out in the middle, it will spread out toward the middle. Then if I were to go ahead and set it to the right side, it's going to go towards the right, but I'll just set it as centered right now. Then you have a list format over here where you can add a list format, as you can see. Then you also have a spacing as well, where you can go ahead, adjust the letter spacing like this. You can also have a line spacing between lines or paragraphs as well. So I'll just keep everything to 0 right now. Here it's 0.0. Or this always stays at like 1.4, so I'm just going to keep it at 1.4. Then you have anchor text box. It's at the bottom. You can add it to the middle, or you can add it to the top, however you want. Then you have effects here. Now effects for text are a bit different than effects for videos or photos. So if I were to click on effects over here, all the effects which are available for text will pop up over here. So let us go through this effects one by one. But before that, I would want to change the color of my font to something else. So there you go. I'm going to effects over here. We have the drop shadow. So as you can see, I can go ahead and change the color of my drop shadow. I'll just make it dark or black, as you can see. Then I'll just give the transparency and make it 100 so that you can see, and I'll just zoom in a bit. Then I can adjust the blur to make the shadow softer, or I can decrease the blur to make the shadow sharper. I'll just keep it at 20 because I believe that that is the number where you will have a good looking shadow. Then you can adjust the direction as well. You can also adjust the offset as well, which basically means if a shadow is much more farther away or much more closer. So I'll just keep my shadow like this. There you go. As you can see, that's one effect. Then you have lift effect as well, and you can increase or decrease the transparency. Now the lift effect, what it does is basically makes like it's almost the same as shadow, but it makes it so that the text looks like it's above anything else or directly above an object. So if you have any kind of layers or objects below your text, it will look like that the text is a some amount of distance above that layer. Now going back to the effects panel over here, you have hollow, which will make the fill of the text transparent, and it's going to have a border on the outside, and you can also adjust or decrease the thickness of it. Then you have spice. Now spice is a mixture between a shadow and a hollow. That's the perfect way to explain it. Now you can change the color to however you want. So as you can see, this is the shadow color, and you can change it to whatever you want, as you can see over here. So I'll just keep it at purple right now. There you go. And then you have the offset as well, as you can see, and you also have the thickness for the border outline, and you also have the direction as well. There you go. Then you have outline. Outline is basically an outer line outlined border, and you can adjust the thickness. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Then you have echo. Now I will just zoom in so that you can understand what echo does over here. As you can see, it's like a multiple layer of shadows beneath your text. So as you can see, I can increase or decrease the offset, and I can also change the direction. But you will only have like two transparent ones in the background, and I can also change the color like this as well. There you go. As you can see, the color has now been changed. Okay. Now going to our next effect, which is glitch. Now as you can see, if I can increase or decrease the offset, it's going to glitch my text. I can also change the direction. As you can see, it makes my text look like it's glitching. Now neon over here makes it so that your text looks like it's a neon light. The more intensity that you increase, the more whiteness of the text will increase, but the surrounding borders or surrounding fade or blurry effect or gives it a touch of the more realism to how a neon effect looks like. Then you have background, self-explanatory. It will just give a background to your text. So as you can see, this is the background over here. I can adjust the roundness, I can adjust the spread, I can adjust the transparency, as you can see over here. Now continuing onwards, I'll just go back to my effects over here. Background, and as you can see, this is the transparency. I can also change the background color as well, and also change the transparency of that. As you can see, that looks good. So those are one of the effects. And then you have shape as well. So you can add a curve shape. You can have a curve shape towards your text. You can also go ahead and increase or decrease the amount of curve your text is following by. And the effects and the changes or the custom changes that you're making is not specifically limited to this kind of manual text. You can also apply them on the preset templates as well. So what I mean is, if I were to go ahead and delete this, I'll just go to or I'll just import this game over text over here. There you go, realign it towards the center. And going back to effects, I can also add the shadows in for this. I can also add the lift. I can add most of the effects over here. I can also have this if you want. That is, you can also add this. So that's going to be all for this lesson, and I will be seeing you in the next one.